Here we are. We are live right here. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the good fight. Woo, 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 woo. So thankful to all of you who show up every single week or during some other time in the regular rhythm of your day. For that, we are grateful. For your presence, we are grateful. Thank you so much. It means so much to me, more than words can articulate, more than my heart can even express. But thank you so much. If this is your first time, though, joining the good fight, welcome, welcome, welcome. There are ways that you can engage in the good fight tonight that could be used at any time. Like you can apply these ways of engagement to anything that you are doing. But one of the ways is that we ask that you locate yourself in the story, right? So as you are listening to the content of what's being presented, what's being offered up for consideration, you can ask yourself, where am I in that? Where, like, am I the one who is causing harm? And am I the one being harmed? Am I a one that who has the solution for how we can stop the harm? Like, where are you in the story? That's one way you can engage. Another way you can engage is to look through a window where you realize that I'm not in this story at all. This story is not even about me. This is somebody else's story. But in the spirit of oneness that Sawubona offers us to consider, I want to hear the story. I want to receive the story. And I want to open myself up to what the story is going to do inside of my body. Like, how is it going to speak to me? That's what I want to know. That's what I yearn to know. I can't wait to see how it's going to unfold. And then a third way that you can, I already had a third way that you can engage is to walk through a door where something is said in this space that actually just it whets your appetite. It makes you want more. It makes you decide that you're going to go on this quest for more information, more knowledge, more wisdom, more understanding around something that was said. And so you start doing your own homework. You start doing some research. You start reading some books. You start engaging people in conversation. You start interrogating yourself. You're just trying to figure out, like, how do I keep this conversation alive in me beyond this moment? And what can this conversation move me to do? How can I act in a way that fits the mission and purpose of the good fight? I had to remind myself of this. I don't mean I had to remind myself, but I was reminded that there is a purpose and a mission for, I got a cramp in my leg, oh my goodness, for the good fight. And that is to just wrestle together. Like, how do we figure out how to live this faith that convicts us? It doesn't matter to me what your faith is. It doesn't matter to me who your faith is in, as long as it's a healthy faith. Like, if you got faith in crime, then we got a problem. But I mean, it doesn't matter to me if you have faith in Buddha, or if you have faith in the Tao, or if you have faith in the Dalai Lama, or if you have faith in Jesus. Like, that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is, how do we live into that in a way that honors humanity, in a way that honors everybody and everybody's body. Like, how do we do that? And that's what we're wrestling with. Like, I don't have the answers. I'm not trying to pretend like I do, but I do feel like together, just trying to work it out, that we can continue to move along the path toward finding out how to answer the questions that we have. And sometimes the best answer is another question. I had to learn that too. Some people don't like for you to ask questions. Oh, that happens to me all the time. People feel that you are interrogating them. People feel like they're offended by the questions. Like, why are you asking me so many questions? What are you trying to figure out? And what I have come to learn is, most of the time, a person who is offended by questions, they're only offended because they don't know the answers. And the questions caught them off guard. They were not prepared. They did not have time to think it through. And so they jump to the defense. And then it's only through relationship building that people come to know, no, I'm just curious. That's it. I'm just curious. Like, I'm not trying to, there's no gotcha moment here. I just am curious about what we're talking about, and I want to go deeper in the conversation. And there are ways that we can go deeper faster because there are some structures that help us do that. And so the other way that you can engage in a good fight is that you can comment. And today in the description, I also remembered finally to include the link to the live. So you could actually follow that link and come on camera with me. I can add you to the stage and you can come on camera. You can ask your question. You can join the conversation, whatever you like to do. So I haven't meant to make it feel like I'm the only one that's supposed to be talking. Everybody else has to write. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how it was meant to be. Because I think Arve came on one time. She didn't show her face, but she asked the question, and that was quite fun. So there is a link in the description for you to join the stage at any time that you get ready. And it also means that you can leave the stage. And you are in full control of your body. I believe in that 100%. So you have full liberty and freedom in this space. So Sawubona to you tonight. It is in the spirit of that Zulu tribal greeting that I greet you and tell you how grateful I am for an opportunity to share space with you, for an opportunity to be pushed by you and challenged and affirmed and all of the things that happen in this space on a weekly basis. I want us to do that. I invite you to do that in the spirit of oneness. The spirit of oneness does not mean that we all think the same, feel the same, act the same, believe the same, but that we do live into and we do accept the fact that we are inextricably linked. Like you cannot unlink me from you. We are connected because of the humanity. Now you can resist it, you can reject it, you can deny it, you can do all of those things. You can accept it, you can embrace it, you can love it, you can do all of those things, but you cannot sever our humanity. Even if you kill me, we will still go down in story as me having been killed by you. So it's still one human killing another human. So you can't get away from that fact. And so how do we live and have this conversation in that spirit of oneness that recognizes the whole of who everyone is in this space? So those are the challenges. Like, how do we live into the oneness while we wrestle with what it means to live into our own individual faiths and what those faiths look like as a collective? Like, that's what this conversation is all about. I want to tell you how I got here on the flight. Y'all didn't even tell me I had misspelled a word on the last flyer last week. I corrected it, even though it doesn't matter to anybody but me. I did correct it. Takia, hey, Takia. Are you still dancing, Takia? Have you taught your children how to dance? What y'all doing? How am I getting you mixed up with your sister? Both of y'all got children. I be watching y'all on Facebook. Somebody got some children. Somebody got boys. And they be cutting up. So glad that you are in this space tonight. Hey, you making me feel old, child. I was a teacher. You were a student. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, I knew somebody had some boys. I thought y'all had children. I'll be seeing y'all on Facebook. You got 2 boys. Oh my goodness. How do you go from middle school student to mother? Oh, still beautiful, looking like your mama. I'm so glad you are here. It say, yes, they are dancing into the classics. Okay. Oh, so they not Buddha, 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 Buddha. Yeah, that's nice. I'm so glad. Oh my goodness. It's so wonderful to see you here in this space and to think about you and to remember the times that we had dancing and bucking, baby. I remember. I watch crime shows all the time, and it has gotten to the point where I realize that sometimes I'm watching too much crime. And so now I'm doing this thing where I'll alternate. I'll watch a crime show, then a cooking show, then a crime show, then a cooking show, then a cooking show, and a cooking show, and then a crime show. But one of the things that has intrigued me about the crime shows and why I said the title for tonight is This Is Our Fault. That's the title for tonight. This is what I'm asking us to consider, the fact. I'm positing this as fact, that it is our fault. We need to be held accountable. We need to figure out what we're going to do about it. This is our fault. One of the things that happens a lot of times on the crime shows is that there will inevitably, there's this one community where the narrator will say they do not expect for crime to happen in this space. It's odd for it to happen. And they also talk about how if crime does occur, it's not usually murder. And that's the kind of crime I'm watching, murder. What's Takia say? Wait a minute. Oh, me and my mama talk all the time about that 05, 06 dance line. Baby, we had our towels. We had... I miss that. I miss that. Yeah. Hey, we put Powell on the map about them dancing, baby. Them Trojans. Oh yeah, those were the days. I dance every chance I get, honey. I ain't gonna lie, I'm still dancing. I'm glad y'all are dancing. So there's this community where they'll say crime doesn't usually happen here. And if there is crime here, it's not, Riri! Hey, Riri! Look, now I got memories with Takia because she was in middle school. I got memories with you from high school. all the students in the house, everybody in the club getting tipsy. Oh my goodness. Hey, I hope you're doing okay. We need to talk because you ain't call me back, but I ain't gonna put you on blast, but I just did, but I ain't gonna put you. Yeah, we need to talk. So yeah, they'll talk about how this particular, she said, yes, them were the days, baby. And you, Takia, talking about shenanigans. We was into anything. Yes, we had a great time. Oh my goodness. We had some good times and we had some not so good times, but they were still, those are still our memories. Absolutely. You said, you just remembered you owe me a call. I'm glad I said it. But it's fine. Take your time. It's no big deal. No worries at all. So this is not the kind of crime that would happen here. Remember, I'm watching murder shows where people have gotten killed. I'm not watching about disappearances. I'm not watching about burglaries. I'm not watching about armed robberies. I'm watching about crime, about murder. That's what I'm watching. And so they're surprised that in this particular area, in this particular neighborhood, that you would have this kind of crime, these murders. And it's always shocking to me because I want to know, like, what makes a person think that their neighborhood is immune to crime? I don't care what crime. I don't care what kind of crime it is, but anywhere that you have humans, then you will have crime. The potential for crime is there. And so if you are there and you living with humans, the potential is there. Like there are no humans on this earth who do not have the capacity to cause harm, even the ultimate harm. Takia said, what show is this? So they do it on all the shows, but I done messed around and found this show on YouTube. I used to watch Oxygen all the time, but now this is YouTube and it's called Fatal Attraction. And then okay, so it's like it'll say Fatal Attraction, and in the over here it'll say the timestamp. It'll say like 2 hours. I'm like, I ain't gonna watch nothing for 2 hours, and usually I'm listening to it anyway, and I'm doing some stuff around the house. But it'll go from Fatal Attraction to For My Man. So these women who fall in love with these men, and before you know it, the men have them doing all kinds of craziness, end up in jail, end up losing the children, end up becoming murderers. And so that's all I do. I click on Fatal Attraction episodes 2024, and that's whatever pops up. So here you go, Riri. These little ones have me so you got 7 grands now. Y'all don't mess around, do you? Is that a basketball team? How many people on the basketball? Is that a football? But they're beautiful. I see y'all on Facebook too. I'm following y'all. I don't scroll to comment. I scroll just to look and to laugh and to giggle and to learn. And so you got that's a lot. Oh, so you know what I'm talking about? You watched that too? Yeah, I just found it. Nobody told me about it. I don't even know why I was on YouTube. I think it's because those apps are going across and they'll be like, I don't know how I found it. But yeah. Also, Riri said you love Fatal Attraction. Wait, what should I watch? You should watch Who the Bleep Did I Marry? Oh, if it's still on Hulu. Okay. I think I got Hulu. I don't mind getting all the platforms. It doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch it. I don't have a problem. Wait, that reminds me of what was her name? She became famous, TikTok famous, because she did this 50-part series. Because during COVID, she met a man and she met him, moved in with him, married him, and then had some shenanigans and then divorced him all in like 1 year. And she did this series where she was telling the story of how he was a pathological liar and all of what she went through to try to get away from him. And then really she ended up putting him on because then he came out talking about, nah, that was what was her name? Oh my goodness. Anyway, I think that was the name of her. Oh wait, is that what you're talking about? Okay, so wait a minute. I'm getting all the tea. Wait, Riri laughing at me. Oh, and then watch Fear Thy Neighbor. I saw that up there. Okay, Fear Thy Neighbor. Okay. Risa Tisa, that was crazy. And then, but let me tell you what I like about her. The same thing I liked about Fonnie Willis, where she was like, I am telling this story in the most comprehensive way. The reason I'm talking slow, the reason I'm giving you so many details, I am trying to make sure that I am doing this in an accountable way. Like I'm being responsible for this story. Like I loved it when she said that. Like Fonnie Willis was like, wait, when I answer you, listen, I'm going to give you all the information because I want to give you the most comprehensive answer that I can. Yeah. I watched all of that. I'm not even into that TikTok like that, but I did watch all 50 parts of hers. But it did make me wonder, like, why did this go viral? Any of us who've been dating for any amount of time have stories like that. Like maybe not with just one man in a concentrated period of time, but I'm 50. I've been dating since, I don't know, at least officially, probably 12th grade. How old is that? And yeah, I got some stories. Look, can I go viral? Let me get on here and tell some of the stories I got. I was just talking about getting sued earlier today. And so they're talking about this crime not happening here. And I don't understand why they say that. But as I started to try to think about like why, oh, wait a minute, here's the key. So the show I'm talking about is similar, but several different instances. The one that got me was this lady married a man and had no idea what she was into until the SWAT team showed up at her door and her husband was gone. I mean, is that really possible for you not to know what's happening? Like, I feel like you can be like my mama. My mama used to say, and I think the old people, a lot of old people would say, I can't put my finger on it. So you may not be able to articulate exact, but you gotta be feeling something. You gotta be sensing something. You gotta be like having a dog moment, like, you ain't know nothing. Nothing, ma'am. Nothing. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it though. I have no problem watching it. I don't have any problem with it. Okay, so you feeling like us? Listen. And you have children too. You can tell. You can look on their face. My mama could listen to the sound of my voice and be like, what's wrong with you? Or she can look on me. She can look at my face. Riri, you a mama, you can look at my face and be like, something ain't right. Or you can see the way my body is moving. You're like, something not right. You don't know what it is, but you know something not right. And if you like me, I'm gonna look for it. My mama used to say, if you look for it, you're going to find it. Exactly. I'm trying to find it. But she also said that there are some things you shouldn't look for. Like don't ask the question because you really don't want to know. So you got to figure out which is which for you. Riri said, baby, no, you read me. You'll never forget that. So I don't have any biological children, but I know I'm a mother, baby. I have a mother's intuition, and it don't take me but a minute. And I'm that type of presence where I'll never forget. I think I told y'all about this lady. I had never met her before. I had only seen her in passing. She knew my name because I was a pastor. Sat down, and before I could even put my spoon in my mouth with that soup. We were at McAllister's having soup and salad. She told me her whole life story. Yes, I'm gonna read it, and I'm gonna dig for it. I'm gonna get that. Yes. Takia said the way you were clocking us at power, you're a mother. Yes, I had to come to grips with that. Yeah, being a mother not about how many children or if any children come out of your body, baby. Yes, there are other ways you can be a mother. And I feel so good about that. Yeah, I do. And so here we are in this neighborhood, and there's a murder that happens in the neighborhood. You said not into once somebody sent me a Facebook message from a student that I had at Powell. There was a mayor. The mayor was on TV, and the mayor was doing an awful job articulating his message to the people. He was doing a lot of and the person said, "Oh my goodness, if Miss Donnell heard him, she would have a fit." Y'all are giving me life tonight. Yes, for the memories of me being an public school educator. 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. And so we're in this neighborhood, and they're saying they can't believe that it's happening in this neighborhood. So I'm opening myself up to try to figure out, why do you think that this would not happen in your neighborhood? Why do you think that? Why do you think that you humans over here are different than us humans over here? Why do you think that you have a different capacity? Why do you think that you have a different mindset? Why do you think that you have a different personality? Why do you think that you cannot be pushed to the limit? Why do you think that evil cannot live in you? Like, why do you think you're different? And one of the things, it's a lot of reasons. Y'all can tell me what reasons y'all have. But one of the reasons I came up with is, because what you all have done in this neighborhood is that you all are putting on all these fronts. What you all are doing is you are pretending to be who you are not. So you're actually pretending to be superhuman. So you're acting like you don't have the capacity to do wrong. You're acting like you always take the high road. You're acting like you never have evil thoughts. You're acting like you've never done anything wrong. You're acting like everything about you is squeaky clean and always has been. And if it hasn't, nobody's ever going to know, because you're going to keep it to yourself. You're going to hide it. You're going to do whatever you have to do. Takia said, hello. That's why they're surprised when it happens. Because everybody walking around here in a matrix. Y'all all in this, because y'all got these cookie cutter houses. Y'all all driving these luxury cars. You all have these high paying jobs. You have these children that have the button downs and the khakis and the backpacks and all of this. And you are you're curating. Yeah, you're curating. You are picking and choosing who you think you are supposed to be, so that people will know you the way you want to be known. Not know you for who you are, but know you for the way you want to be known. And because you're not the only one doing it. Everybody in this neighborhood, everybody down the street is doing a same thing. We are wearing Paul Lawrence Dunbar. We wear the mask. We are walking around here pretending. We are walking around here with facades. We are walking around here as caricatures of ourselves. And we even start to believe the lies that we are telling ourselves. And so something happens that we call it bad, which is actually just human. And you say, oh, you want to clutch your pearls. I can't believe it. And so what everybody pretending, including the murderer. And then the murderer be thinking, because I'm living in this neighborhood, I'm smarter than everybody. I have a degree. I got 2 degrees. I got my own business. I'm making 6 figures. I drive a Porsche. I don't know if Porsches are considered high. I don't know what the high cars are. Bentley, whatever you driving. So that means that everybody knows that I couldn't possibly do this. I can surely get away with this, because nobody would even believe that nobody's gonna believe that it's me. So Riri says, yes, until I met you, I thought I had that little secret mask tight. Oh, that's another thing. That's another thing that I have had to tell people recently. I've told more than one person, and both of them have been Black men. I done had to tell them, boo, I see you. I don't care what other woman you've been in relationship with. I don't care what kind of relationship it was, whether it was professional or personal or social or romantic. There are people in this world who see you. They might not have been able to, but I see you. And I just want you to know that. I'm not judging you. I'm not trying to clock you. I'm not even going to put you on blast. I'm talking to you. I need you to know, I see you. There are some of us, I think all of us have that sixth sense, which is intuition. I think we have that perception. It's just that we have to develop it. And some of us have developed it more than others. But I don't think that like I'm a rare find. I just think that's what it is. And so they're having these conversations with themselves where they're pretending with themselves, they're pretending with everybody else. So when something goes down, then everybody's all shocked and horrified and can't believe it. But here's the thing. I started asking myself, why do we pretend? I know we all do it, but why do we do it? And I believe we do it because we feel like you have to do it. Riri said, exactly, because you never judge, but you want to meet. You know what? I just said this today, Riri. There's one thing that bothers me that is my greatest pet peeve. I got pet peeve, but my greatest pet peeve is when you insult my intelligence, right? So when I know something and I'm telling you I know it, and people like you be saying, girl, don't try it, not with me. And again, no, I'm gonna create a space. Did I rock with you? I created space. I rocked with you no matter what. That's how I am. No judgment here. I'm gonna rock with you. Let's talk through it. Let's think about it. Yes, that's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of person I want to be, and I'm gonna continue to be. No judgment here. I'll create the space. How can I support you? That's my question. How can I support you? And so I'm asking the question, like, why are people pretending? Why do we wear the mask? Why do we put on the persona? Why? And the answer that I came up with is, and you so said, girl, how long? Yep. I don't even think we made it to the car good. I think we were just walking out the house. And I'm like, ma'am. And we still friends to this day. Oh, what was that? That was my first teaching job. So that was 1994. I got out of college in 94. My first master's degree was 96. I started teaching at Yazoo City in 96. So that was in 1996. And we, look, that's a long time. And we still right here. Yeah. So the answer that I came up with to that question is, people are wearing masks and people are not being themselves because we won't let them be. I believe in serendipity, right? That things happen like at the right time, at the right moment, without you even orchestrating it. Like, bam, it just happens. I just stumbled upon this guy's, I guess it's his page, his channel. I don't know the right words, but I just stumbled upon it. And it was a video of some pastor who was doing the holy dance, but he had gotten caught in relationship with another man, in relations with another man. And then this was his the video of him. This was the video of him apologizing, saying, y'all, I messed up, I did wrong, I should have taken care of my business, I apologize to my mama, my cousin, my Pookie, them, everybody. 94. So Riri, so I graduated college in 94. So were they letting us teach before? I didn't know it was 94. Because I didn't even get my license to teach until 9. They must have been letting us teach while we were. Oh, I must have had like a temporary license. That must have been it. They must have given us a temporary license since we were in school. And then once we got our regular license, then they fully certified us. That's the only way I could have been teaching in 94. Because I came out of college in 94 because I was in high school in 90. So I didn't remember that. I thought it was 96. And so This man is talking about how, I'm so sorry. I should have done this. I shouldn't have done that. I did wrong. And I did this, that, and the other. And he's a pastor. So the person whose channel I was watching was like, well, if you're supposed to be the pastor, then you need to live the life that you talk about. I don't care about you being gay, but if you're going to say one thing, say who you are, then that's what you need to live. And I stopped and I thought about it. I was like, how many of us, especially in the Black community, in any community, but especially the Black community, how many of us would give grace to our Black male pastors and say, yes, it's okay if my Black male pastor is gay. I ain't got no problem with it. Most Black people are homophobic, just culturally. Most of us are homophobic. And then you got a pastor who up there preaching the word and you find out he's gay. No, bro, you wouldn't even go to the church anymore. And so we're not creating space for people to live into the true essence of who they are as it relates to sexual orientation. We are not giving people the grace and the freedom to live into who they are as a woman who is fully affirmed in her sexuality, as a woman, as a heterosexual woman. You don't want a woman who knows that she's free to do with her body whatever she wants. Oh, we talking about her. We calling her all kind of hoes and all of that. So we are not creating space for people to be who they are. We won't allow them to bring their whole selves in the room. We won't invite them into the spirit of Sawubona that says your whole self is welcome in this space. And I honor you and I celebrate you and I exist with you. How can I support you? We do not allow for that to happen, right? We don't allow, Takia, you feeling me? We don't allow for people to do that. And so they have to start putting on masks. I'm trying to hide everything I'm doing. And especially in this United States where we live, where we talk, like we don't want anybody talking about sex. I just was thinking this myself as I was driving to the studio this morning because I was listening to the song. The lady said, it's right here. The name of the song is, wait a minute, it's right here. What's the name of the song? It's right here for you. She said, it's right here for you. But if you don't take it, if you don't get it, she didn't say take it. She said, if you don't get it, that ain't no fault of mine. So she's freely, as a Black woman, singing the blues, saying, it's my body. I'm offering it to you. Now, if you accept it, you can get it. And I was laughing. I was like, people, this is way back in the 1920s. They don't want us talking about this. This is not one of her popular songs. And that's what I was thinking about. Why isn't this a popular song? Because the idea that a woman is freely giving her body sexually to, and in this case, it's a man, then, oh my goodness, that's taboo. We don't want to talk about that. We still around here in Arkansas talking about abstinence. What? Now, y'all know everybody out there, everybody is in some kind of sexual relationship, whether it's with yourself, somebody of the same gender, somebody of a different gender. All of us are in, whether it's with somebody else's husband, all of us are in some kind of relationship, except if you like my mama, she's like, babe, I'm tired. But the point is, sex is a very real part of our lives. So for us to deny the person's sexual expression and then wonder why they wearing a mask, it's our fault they got on the mask. Say you mean I think because most pastors are put on a higher standard when they are just humans as well. That's one of the things that I love. One of the only things these days that I love about the United Methodist Church. When I became United Methodist, I learned that we believe in what's called ministry beyond the parish. So ministry beyond the parish means that not all pastors have to be behind a pulpit every Sunday preaching from a Bible. Like that doesn't have to be the way you live into what it means to be in ministry. You can be appointed to a church, yes, but you could also be appointed to a school. You could be appointed to a hospital. You could be appointed as a social worker. You could be appointed as a principal. You could be appointed as a dean of college, because God has called all of us to our various contexts to do whatever the work is. For us to act like pastors because they in the church are closer to God somehow, that's simply not true. They are doing the same thing we are doing. We are living out our call wherever we are, and they just happen to be at the church. And so we put a lot of pressure on preachers to be somebody that they cannot even be. The people that we're asking these pastors to be, it's not even possible. But look, y'all don't make me preach it here. It's not even possible for you to. It's the same reason that Jesus came. If we want to talk about Christianity, we want to talk about the New Testament, Jesus came. Why? Because Jesus came to extend grace. Why did we need grace? Because the laws that they had established, it was 10 laws that came down from the mountain. They turned it into over 400 with all this. The same thing we do. Can't do this, can't do this, can't go there, can't drink this, can't smoke that. And so they ended up with so many laws that the people themselves could not follow them. So Jesus came and said, listen, I've come to give you a new way of living into what it means to be faithful. Because can't none of y'all live according to the laws that you established yourselves. So these laws and rules that the people give the rules to the pastor. We don't want our pastor to cuss. We don't want our pastor to smoke. We don't want our pastor to wear jeans. We don't want our pastor to use profanity. We don't, like, my goodness, you won't even let the man, the woman, or the gender non-conforming person be human. And so they cannot live into it, but they try so hard. And so now they got to wear all of these masks. I got to wear a mask when I'm talking to the mothers of the church. I got to wear a mask when I'm talking to the deacons of the church. I got to wear a mask when I'm talking to the youth of the church, because I don't want them to know all the stuff I've been doing. Look, y'all got me on one tonight. Like, that's what happens. And so they wear these masks because they cannot be themselves, because it's our fault. Remember, that's the title for tonight. This is our fault. Our fault that we will not create space to allow people to be who they were created to be. And then we won't let you be who you are. So we force you to put on a mask. Then when we find out you got on a mask, here we go again. I'm like, is you kidding me right now? So there was this one show that I was watching where this well, I'm getting them all mixed up, but so this one in particular was the sister, this woman's sister had an affair with her nephew. So this woman had a sister, and the woman had a child, and the sister had sex with the child. They said, don't make me throw my shoe. That's one of the reasons I be up so late. I be like, is this for real? And then, I only want to watch those shows where I can look them up. I want to look them up so I can say, she said, yes, I'm glad you're here too. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, I want to be able to look them up and say, now what now? They did what? I want to know the story. I want to know how the trial ended, because, they can't tell everything in the movie. Yes, and so when it came out, like after everything happened, the woman didn't know. She didn't know. The nephew and her son ended up killing his aunt. Okay, that's what happened. The aunt tried to break away, and the son he really was just too young. He did not know how to control his emotions. Children, young adults, until you 23, 24, 25, your brain not fully developed. We should expect you to make bad decisions. That's another reason why we get mad at the adults when they mess with children, because the adults are supposed to know better. But he was young. He didn't know how to deal with his emotions. And she was, it was just a lot going on in his head. It was stressing him out. He was it was a lot. And so he ended up killing her. And so the mother didn't find out about the relationship until after the sister was dead and her son had killed her. And so she was like, oh my goodness. And so now she's finding out, the entire community is finding out. The community is like, first of all, that it's a aunt and a niece. Now, I clutched my pearls on that too. I wasn't, how some stuff like you're not expecting. I wasn't expecting that. But they also clutched their pearls because they're like, oh, how could that happen in this neighborhood? And so the community responded by saying, oh, good. So now they start gossiping about the family. They start turning their back on the sister that's still alive. They start whispering behind her back. They start walking away from her, not holding space. They act like they don't know what to say when they are around her, so they don't say anything. And so now here she is, innocent at all. I mean, innocent of everything. I believe she didn't know. Remember, earlier I was like, girl, how you not know? She worked at night. And so a lot of this was going on while she's trying to work. And so she started sensing, something is strange. Like, I see something going on, but it just never clicked in her head that it would be sex between her sister and her nephew, but she knew something wasn't right. She started feeling the energy shift. Riri said, I'm gonna go, baby. Let me tell you something. Please, can I be your editor? I'll even be your ghostwriter. Can I be your ghostwriter? Can I be your editor? Can I help you get your script to the Hollywood, baby? Everybody, you see how I'm watching these shows? That's how we'll be watching. That's how we would be watching your story, like this. Yes, ma'am. And so this woman now is carrying the grief of having lost her sister, carrying the grief. Okay, all right, I got witnesses. I put it up on the screen so I can have witnesses. You said you're going to let me help you with this book. I'm saying that while I'm not even finished with my own, but still, I can help you with the book. So here this woman is suffering from the grief of losing her sister, suffering from the grief of now having lost her son to the penal system, and then suffering from the grief of this relationship that she never even imagined. Like, she can't even grasp that this was going on. Like, all of this she is holding, all of this she is carrying in this moment. When all of this happens, everything crashes down on her at once. And the community's response is, girl, no. And you're not creating space for her. You're not, I don't know what to say. You ain't got to say nothing. Just show up and be like, girl. And then, sometimes that's the only words you need, girl. And then, or just look, or just open your arms and let the person come and hug you. My mother's friend lost her daughter. And my mama found out. And as soon as my mama found out, she rushed, because they lived around the corner from each other. She rushed to her friend. And when her friend saw her, just the sight of my mother, she ran to my mama and just fell into my mama's arms. And she just laid her head on her shoulder and she just cried. And they cried together. Like, that's what it doesn't, being community, holding space does not require words all the time. It requires showing up. It requires being supportive. It requires saying, hey, Takia said, girl has about 10 different meanings depending on how you say it and how long you drag it out. I know. It reminds me of the word MF. Do you remember, what was his name? Bernie Mac, when he did that little stint with the MF word? That's how I feel about girl. We can do all of that. And sometimes that's all it takes, because we can feel the energy. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You remember? We can feel each other's energy. We are in relationship with each other. We can just show up and the other person knows what to do. And you can show up and know what not to do. You can show up like this, and if somebody go get the Vaseline. There are ways that we can express ourselves to let each other know, I am here for you without words. I am here for you with words. I'm here with you with some food. I'm here for you with some music. Like, whatever it is that we have in our hands, or if it's nothing in our hands, we can show up and be support. And so so that's why I was saying that we really need to be called into accountability, because we will not allow people on the front end to be themselves. So we force them to wear the mask. Then when the mask comes off, because it's going to have to come off at some point, then we shame them for having put on a mask that we forced them to put on in the first place. We can't keep doing that. And we cannot act like we have, girl, did you see them? We can't act like they are not us. And we can not act like we are not them. We are, yes, that's what we got to hold each other accountable. Stop making people wear masks. I don't care what their profession is. I don't care what their sexuality is. I don't care what their income is. I don't care what their shelter situation is. People ought to be able to have space to be who they are, and who they are should be okay. And so I was looking for a verse of scripture to help me with this. And this happens to me all the time now, because I think I know the Bible. I'll think of a scripture and I'm like, yeah, that scripture should work. But then when I start digging into it, I'm like, I don't remember. this is not how I remembered it the first time, but that's because I'm looking through a different lens now. But I do want to read for us John chapter 15 verse. I've got verses 1 through 17 up here because I feel like we need to look at some other verses. But I do want us to focus just for right now on verse 13 and just talk a little bit about what it means. John chapter 15 verse 13. It's going to be difficult to see, I think. I'm going to try my best to try to zoom in on verse 13. And I'm reading from the New International Version. And the only reason I'm reading from the New International Version is because that language clicked in my head more. Like I used to use the New International Version a lot before I started using the easy to read version. So sometimes I got to go to the King James because that's the language I remember. Sometimes I remember the language. So this was just the one that I remember that was more familiar to me. That's the only reason I'm using the NIV. So let's see if we can look at John chapter 15. And yes, 1 through 17 on here. But I just want us to focus on verse 13. Yeah, so yeah. Oh, look how much I can. Yeah, verse 13. We're just looking at verse 13. Can y'all see verse 13? I'll give y'all a minute while I get some water, honey. Verse 13. It says, greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. Greater love. If you're reading from the King James, they're going to use a more patriarchal language. Greater love has no man than this, right? Than to lay down his life. But that's another reason why I moved to the New International Version. I started going to school and we started talking about inclusive language. So greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. Okay. Now we use this verse a lot when we're talking about Jesus giving up, surrendering his life in order to be crucified so that we can be saved. That's how we couch it. But that's not the way I want to talk about it tonight at all, because that's not what I'm feeling that this is about anymore. If you say to me that the greatest love that you have, the greatest love that we can offer to another person is to lay down our lives for them, I do believe that includes putting your body on the line sometimes. So yes, people who are non-Black, you see us getting killed and we asking people to come protest and rally with us, even though you might get bust upside the head. Yeah, I'm expecting you to put your body on the line right along with me. So yes, so it may include some kind of physical harm to your body. But what I'm thinking about tonight, more so than that, is if I'm going to lay down my life for you, that means that I am not going to try to use my life to dictate yours. If I lay down my life to you, I'm saying I'm going to center you. Like when I show up and I ask you, how can I support you? I'm not going to be like, girl, what up? Again. Now, if you want to go kill somebody, it ain't that kind of party. But I'm hoping that people know I'm not talking about anything like killing somebody. But I'm saying, how can I support you? If you say to me, Denise, look, I'm over here in this relationship and I know that I should not be doing this because he talking to me crazy, whatever. I'm trying to come up with something off the top of my head, which I should not try to do. But whatever your situation is, if I can support you in that situation, because it's not going to give me, because I'm not going to jail for nobody. I don't care who you is. I don't care how long we've been friends. And I'm not getting arrested. Oh no. I'm not doing it and I'm not getting arrested. So Riri said, I didn't realize the true meaning until I met you, honestly. Yeah, when I started teaching Bible at the church in Greenville, Revels Memorial United Methodist Church on Broadway Street, my more than one parishioner said that they were now seeing the Bible in a way they had never seen before. Same thing happened when I went to preach at in Gulfport at Mississippi City United Methodist Church. Same thing happens now sometimes when I preach at New Beginnings, that you have a different perspective. Like all of us don't have the same perspective. And so if we're going to lay down our lives, it's what I call going platinum. As a social justice activist, and I'm curating spaces, I'm creating spaces, and I'm picking and choosing the exercises that we are going to do to help you think about things on a different vibration, helping you think about things in a different way. One of the things we talk about at the very beginning when we are setting the tone for the room is that I need you to go platinum. And what do we mean by that? Well, many of us know the golden rule. The golden rule says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But if you slow down and you read the golden rule like this, you do unto other people the way you want other people to do unto you. If you read it, if you slow down and say it like that, I ask the question, who's the most important person in that rule? Then that is you. So you are telling other people how they better treat you based on how you want to be treated. So it's all about you. And we say we're asking you now to go platinum. And we don't use the word rule. We're asking you to freely and willingly and wantingly to go platinum and say, no. I'm not going to do unto you the way I want you to do unto me. I'm going to do unto you the way you want me to do unto you. Right? So when somebody says, I want you to call me by a different name, what difference does it make to my life if I call you by a different name? If that's how you feel supported, if that's how you feel seen, what's wrong with that? I don't understand. Like, why are we having all these conversations? Because if somebody said, if I got married tomorrow and took my husband's name, which I would, I'm not getting married. B, I'm not taking his name. So these are all constructs in my mind. So no, I'm not. But I'm just saying, if I were. And so here I am. I come in, I change my name. I say my name is now Denise Donnell Brown. Okay, my name is Denise Donnell Brown because I just got married. Y'all be like, oh, hey, Miss Brown, girl, I's married now. And you would never call me Donnell again. Wouldn't think anything about it. But if it's related to some other aspect of my identity, now you want to tell me what you will or won't do about my body, about my life, about my identity. What are we talking about here? So when this Bible says, if we're going to look at this as a principle, because we're not talking about Jesus, we're not talking about the cross, we're not talking about being persecuted, we're talking about what it means to be in relationship with somebody, and you use that word love. And I got to use the word love because this is, if we go to the very first verse, let's go to the very first. No, it's not the first verse. Which one is it? It's not the first verse. If you keep him, oh, here it is. Yeah, here it is right here. If we look at this verse 9, it says, as the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. As the Father, again, don't get upset about the language. That's just what it is. God is spirit. So if you want to call the spirit Father, you can. You want to call the spirit Mother, you can. You want to call the spirit they, you can. You want to call the spirit Comforter, Friend, Healer, whatever you want to call the spirit, that's fine. God is spirit. So we're not going to get caught up in the words that are being used. So as God has loved me, because this is in red, so this is Jesus talking. So the same way that God loves me, that's how I love you. Now remain in my love. So you should be loving people the way that I love you. And if that's the principle that you're going to follow, and I tell you that greater love, if you want to have the greatest love, if you want to express yourself in the very best way to another person, you'll lay down your life and say, your life is not about what I want for you. Your life is about what you want for you, because just like God is moving in my life, however God looks, God is moving in yours. And so I don't have any more right over your life than you have over mine, because how you going to tell me that my God ain't say that? How I'm going to tell you that your God didn't say? You can't tell me what God said to me. You can't tell me how God moves in me. You can't tell me how God speaks to me. You cannot tell me that. You cannot tell me how God manifests in me. You can't do it. You can try to do it. You can say you've been called to do it. You can preach and say you can do it, but that don't mean you can. It's just stuff you up there saying that I ain't got to believe, and that I don't believe, and that you shouldn't believe either. Yes. And so if we're going to lay down our lives for our friends, says John 15, 13, then we've got to be willing to say, I am creating a space so you can be the everything that you are, everything that you believe you are. And here's another thing. We have to also create a space that allows people to grow into different seasons of who they are. Because I know for a fact, I can speak for Riri right now and say the person that I met in 1994 is not the person that I know in 2024. So even though I'm creating space for who you are in this moment when we are together, I also have to give you room to become somebody else, to live into the next season, to grow in different directions. I don't get to put you in the box and say, girl, when I met you, your hair was red. How your hair gonna be black now? What? I don't know who I'm going to be tomorrow. I don't even know if I'm gonna be here tomorrow. So for you to think that I am going, listen, honey, I had to tell somebody this the other day. Somebody jumped bad at me the other day. You hear me? Jump bad at me. And it just so happened that my cousin called me like, look, we talked about that energy. We talked about the intuition. It just so happened that my cousin called me right after I read the text. And I told her, I said, oh, my gumdrops. I know in this moment that I have grown. And I am going to give God thanks for this growth, because this is the kind of growth that I used to pray about. Because if it was back in the day, baby, I would have been on the front porch, cussing, fussing, and swinging. People look at me now like, I can't. You cuss? You used to cuss people out? Yes, and I didn't care who you were. I didn't care if you was my boss. I didn't care if you were a man. I didn't care if you were a woman. I didn't care if you were my elder. I didn't care if you were somebody young. It did not matter. I had so much anger from growing up filled with violence that I did not know how to process. I didn't care. And my mom was talking about, you not scared of him? No, he's scared of me. She's like, what? So Riri says that little girl back then with no nails and biting them. You said, girl, no, ma'am, you got. I forgot I took you to the nail shop. I'm like, girl, we just got to talk about that word, girl. Now you can't listen. You can't roll with me like that, no, ma'am. Because that was the time when I used to get my hair done every week. I was dating a dope dealer. I was getting my hair done. He was getting my hair done. Look, that's what me. I almost ended up on that show for my man, girl. However, whatever he want, honey. He want me to get my hair done once a week. I'm gonna get my hair done, girl. I'm gonna get my nails did. I was all of that. Whatever. I didn't say it like that because I was too prim and proper, because my mama raised me to be a lady. Yeah, a lady that's dating a drug dealer. Masks. We keep talking about this. Yeah, I completely forgot, baby. Yes, you're gonna have to get them nails done. And now look, you ain't stopped getting them done since. I see you on Facebook with them greens and all this stuff. You be having all this stuff. I'm not mad at you. And so if we are going to say, he said, yes, you introduced me to nails too. Now I can't stay out the shop. Girl, your hair be, what we say? Lit. Y'all gonna have to help me stay young. I'm getting old. Your hair be lit. It be fire. Oh, whatever I'm supposed to say. That's how your hair is. Your hair and your nails. I see you. I told you I'm paying attention to y'all on Facebook. And so we cannot continue to force people into spaces where they are not able to be themselves, and then find out that they are not themselves and walk away from them. We cannot allow ourselves to continue to build a community where we prop you up only if you are, because this is some of the language that they will use in the crime shows. Yes, don't, just because I'm not commenting, just because I'm not liking, does not mean that I'm not paying attention. So these crime shows, they're like, to everyone thought they had the perfect family, the perfect marriage, the perfect relationship, the perfect children. Like, why are we even using the word perfect? because we, first of all, we using it because we don't know the etymology of the word. Perfect means completion. So it means that we are striving to be complete. We are striving to be whole. But in either way, none of us are completely whole. None of us are completely healed. None of us are complete. And so we should not ever use the word. And so we said, oh my goodness. And so we're forcing people into a space they cannot occupy. You can't occupy it. I can't occupy. We're forcing them into that space. And then we are damning them for being in the space. And then let's just say the person, the sister I talked about earlier, since I lifted up her story, let's say she committed suicide because she was so lonely and she was grieving so hard and her child is gone, her sister's gone. We, especially those of us who profess to be Christians, would then condemn her to hell and say, girl, anybody commit suicide going to hell. Wait, what now? So we didn't create space for her to be who she was. We made her wear a mask. We found out she was wearing a mask, and then we shunned her and shamed her for wearing a mask. And then when she couldn't take it anymore, she killed herself. And now we're going to condemn her to hell because, oh my goodness, what kind of life are you living? What kind of life are we living? We're supposed to be living in relationship with each other. And so we've got to hold ourselves accountable. The first step in doing that is to stop acting like my life controls yours and to begin to create space so you can be you and I can be me and we can love each other on the higher levels of what it means to be in love with each other, according to what the higher vibrations are calling us to do. Again, this is not rooted in Jesus. I ain't asking nobody to go to no crosses. I'm saying, how do we love on that level that allows people to be exactly who they are? Say, just like that movie, The Girl in the Basement, ain't no way the mama didn't know. She knew something was going on. She did. She knew something. It came out. She was like, they relationship, the way they talking to each other, the way they looking at each other. She just started being like, what is happening right now? She just couldn't put her finger on it. She just simply could not put her finger on it. But y'all, it's 8 o'clock already. Thank you so much for joining us for The Good Fight. We'll be right back here next Tuesday, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. I can't wait to see you in this space. Thank y'all so much for being so engaging. I really appreciate it. Hope to see y'all soon. Bye.